Hi everyone, and welcome to Jarissa Explains. I'm Marissa.
And I'm Jamie. And we're back!
We're back!
Yes, we've been gone for quite a while, and we apologize that we haven't made any episodes of our show. We became parents again to another baby.
How would you like to have a baby brother?
No thanks. I'm enough.
And life with two kids has been very busy for us, so we haven't had a lot of time to sit down and film.
But I have still been able to occasionally put out a power hour here and there, and hopefully y'all been enjoying them, and we're planning to put more out here in the future besides episodes of our show. We're just happy to get back to start putting some episodes of our show out there for y'all to enjoy as well.
Yes.
And today, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about getting robbed.
Oh, we've been hit. Forget the foreplay, we just got screwed.
Yeah, so today is going to be a little story time of the time that we had a storage unit and it ended up getting robbed in a very unconventional way. It looks like I've got a lot of paperwork here, but I just have notes on this page here just to keep us on track. Where this all starts is back in May of 2018.
We had needed to rent a storage unit near our place because we were doing some renovations within our own house, and we just didn't have that much room. So I needed a place to put a lot of stuff.
So when you rent a storage unit, you sign a contract and everything, but it basically says that they are not responsible for your things. Also, we're not going to be naming the company in this video.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can sue us or whatever, but this is actual fact. This actually happened.
We definitely have plenty of evidence to back up what we're claiming, and we're going to present it to you all here.
Basically, everything was fine up until October of 2020, and that's when Jamie went to the storage unit for some reason and noticed that everything was disheveled and several things were missing.
For the most part, everything looked still pretty together, but there was just certain things that I was like, was that the way it was last time I was in here? And just maybe started questioning. Then once we started diving deep and looking for certain things, I started knowing a couple tools here and there were missing.
So you noticed things were missing, so didn't you go to the front office and you told them that you think somebody like got into your shed? Right?
Yeah, and they basically were like, well, that can't be, these are new locks and everything,
Yeah.
and we have cameras on the lot and we know whether people are breaking in or not. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but then they also said that we were the only people that had a key to our lock. So we were like, well, what's up with that? Because you noticed that like the lock was locked. So like that doesn't make sense. How could somebody get into our unit? The last time you had been in there was like right after we had our first child, and so you thought maybe you were just tired and forgot to lock it.
Yeah, and that's kind of what the lady insinuated, like when she was talking. She was like,
Well, maybe you left it unlocked and somebody got in there.
and then giving it the benefit of the doubt, I was like, you know what? Fine, we're doing a lot of stuff right now. Maybe it was on me.
Yeah. From then on though, every time we would leave, I would take a picture of the unit of the way everything was set up in there so that if it was different or things were moved, I would look at my picture and compare it and see if things were moved.
We made it a point that beyond that, whenever we would pay them monthly, we would always go and check the unit real quick, and we thought maybe they might be stealing from us. Everything was just very off. We were like, none of this is making any sense.
That brings us to January 2022. And this is when Jamie went to the storage unit and noticed that more stuff was missing and everything was completely disheveled. There was no doubt that someone had gotten into our storage unit.
Again, I was doing one of these monthly payments and I went to go check it, and as soon as I opened up, I didn't have to look at the picture. Everything looked like it was pretty much ransacked through, and I was like, what the hell? So then I call her, tell her what's going on in the situation, and I proceed to go to the management's office and to talk to them. The lady at the management's office still denying that she has any knowledge of anything that's going on. I was like, all right, well, come to the unit and I'll show you. So I take her to the unit and I show her and everything. She gets in, she looks around, she's like,
Well, it looks like somebody got into your stuff.
but like, again, she's using words and stuff so that she's not liable in any sort of sense about what is going on. So she's not really saying anything, she's just kind of like peddling around. But one thing I did happen to notice the last big time that I thought we had gotten robbed, I noticed that the corner of the back wall of our storage unit, that the metal sheeting that separated our unit from the unit on the other side was kind of like hinged or kind of like bent on the side.
You could tell it had been bent.
Now, I noticed that it was really bent and everything was like kind of looked like it had been pulled back. And I proceeded to show the lady this, and even using her own eyeballs, she was just like,
Yeah, because didn't you like move the stuff?
Yeah, I moved all the box because at first she was like,
well, I'm not gonna go back there so I don't disturb your stuff.
I'm like, okay, well let me move it. So I moved everything, and I was like, now step back here. So she didn't even really want to stand back there because she knew what was going on. And like she's sitting there looking, oh, well, that could be it. That could be the issue. What we know now, what was going on, was the people that were behind our unit were breaking in through that giant sheet of riveted metal that was separating our two units. So these people had proceeded to cut up that metal, roll it back, then roll it back and drill it back in. So at that point, I was sitting there looking at the lady, and then it finally dawned on me, and I pointed it out to her. I go, look at this. And I started showing her on my side, you could see where the metal had been drilled into the wall from our side.
Yeah.
Then I noticed where the cut was, there was points coming through where they had rolled it back and drilled it from their side back into my side. I was like, here's a clear example of showing you that they've been doing this.
Yeah.
The lady still was like,
I don't know. I can't say whether that is or it isn't, or whether they did or they didn't.
so basically, covering her own ass because she didn't want to be liable for any of that.
You know, you sign those papers, but you don't think like somebody's gonna be able to break into your stuff if it's locked. So it's just like crazy that like out of all the units, we were renting on the other side of a thief.
Yeah. And there was nothing really we could do because of the paperwork. I'm like, we clearly see that they're stealing from us. So after all that, I was like, well, I'm gonna call the cops. Because I was thinking, well, maybe I can get a cop to come out here and look at the damage and look at what's going on, and maybe we can see if we can go into that storage unit and see what's in there.
Yeah.
Well, upon calling the police, I was legally informed that they're not allowed to go into other people's storage units. Also, they didn't even want to send a unit or a cop to come and even look at the situation, because I was like, I really would like to see a trooper come out here and have somebody break this down and look at it with me, because this is a clear case of thievery, and LMPD wouldn't even send a unit out. They actually took my phone call over the phone like I was placing a to-go order.
Yeah, well, they gave you a police report number.
Yeah, they gave me a police report number. I made a police report, and then I got one courtesy call from a detective asking if I had any serial numbers to any of the stuff that got stolen, and who keeps all the receipts of all their serial numbers of all their stuff.
It was like old things that I don't know why anybody would want these things. Like one of the things was like a piece of pottery that I made in like 7th grade.
It's clearly people that were trying to pawn stuff off. Like I had a lot of things that were my grandfather's things, and when he was in the Kentucky Military Institute, so they stole like his graduation sabers, they stole his medals, they stole many things that were priceless family heirlooms, and they just took them, and I'm sure they hawked them at some pawn shop or somewhere. I literally, to my old car, I had a built-in box system. I had an amp and a speaker built into this box, and they literally had enough time to take a Phillips head screwdriver and unscrew everything out of this box and get it out, and they left the box for me. Thank you. To this day, we still come up with stuff that we're like, oh, they stole that too. I followed up later on with the lady, the management, to ask like what had happened. They were like,
well, we kicked them off the lot.
Yeah, and they offered to give us another storage unit, but we ended up moving out.
The whole thing was just a very disheartening situation, and you just felt very powerless, and you're just very victimized. These people just were able to ransack through all of our old family heirlooms.
So yes, just beware if you are renting from a storage unit. Just know that they're not liable, and try not to rent in one of those that have the metal on the back if you can.
Absolutely. This is basically a public service announcement for all of you all. We just don't want any of this to happen to you all. Just be really wary about how the storage unit is constructed. If it looks like you can break through, somebody else can probably break through. And they're not liable for anything, so all your stuff is just going to be gone. So basically, I think maybe we need to call out these storage units and tell them to do a better damn job of building their storage units for everybody, you know, that are renting from them.
Yeah, or get one of those that are like air conditioned and like completely secure. It's like a big building.
Yeah. those seem like they'd probably be a lot better.
Well, that brings us to the end of today's story time of how we got robbed in our storage unit. We hope this is sort of like a life lesson and something to look out for if you ever need to rent a storage unit in the future. Or if you rent one now, like maybe you should go check and make sure it is all secure.
Absolutely. We want to thank you all for watching. Give us a like and subscribe and ring that bell for future notifications. And stay tuned for future episodes here in the future.
Yep. And we will see you all in our next video.
Bye.
Bye. We need to do a bloopers one in this one too.
At the end of it, well, I'm sure you'll have something.
I know, because we're so rusty.
Yeah. Like my socks.
Alright, sit down. Nobody likes your socks.
Everybody, you should.
Alright, did you read it?
I lived it. Well, I was just gonna kind of like let
Pre-roll it.
pre-roll it and let you kind of stick to the details. And then I'm just gonna be like, derp-a-derp, derp-a-derp-a-derp.
I mean, the lighting's good.
Yeah, well, you tell me, you're the lighting queen.
Are we gonna say, and we're back?
Yeah, that's...
Why don't we say we're back at the same time?
Yeah.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Jarissa Explains. I'm Marissa.
And I'm Jamie. My voice broke right there. I can't hear me. One more time.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Jarissa Explains. I'm Marissa.
And I'm...
Really? Don't spit there. Practice. And I'm Jamie.
I didn't realize I was gonna have to practice on saying my damn name again. Like, well, we gotta start really with the basics. Okay.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Jarissa Explains. I'm Marissa.
And I'm Jamie.
And we're back! You say and then we'll say we're back.
Again, one last time.
One
Here
last
we go.
time. If we still can't do it, we'll have to do a cut.
Exactly, we'll cut it up.
Okay, ready? Cut.
And we're back! What is that? Oh, there's a cat under here. It started licking my knee. I was like, it's a rat!